Now, Shams Charania, I turn to you with some breaking news here out of the Los Angeles Lakers franchise.
Malika, the man that acquired Luka Doncic, brought him to the Lakers, was Rob Pelinka. Sources tell me he has reached an agreement on a multi-year contract extension with the Lakers general manager, and now a new title of president of basketball operations as well. This is obviously a big moment for the Lakers, big moment for Rob Pelinka in terms of this offseason. Luka Doncic is eligible for a contract extension.
Well, it was hard first. That first day was really hard. I felt like this last 48 hours was 1 month. Like 2 days ago was 1 month ago. So emotionally, it was really hard.
How could the Dallas Mavericks make a decision so devastating, so outrageous, that it sent shockwaves across the entire NBA? How did a single trade cost the franchise over $100 million in losses, destroy fan loyalty, and force the front office to fire their general manager in disgrace? Just days after the Mavericks completed the most controversial deal in NBA history, sending Luka Doncic to the Los Angeles Lakers, the fallout has been swift and brutal. Fans are furious, analysts are speechless.
This is the worst moment in the history of my life. This is ridiculous. This is crazy, man. We went to the NBA Finals. Why are we trading the best player, the franchise player? How are we trading the franchise player? We went to the NBA Finals. He's supposed to have a statue. Hell yeah. He's supposed to have a statue. Dirk got a statue right there. It's supposed to be Luka right there. Why we don't got a statue for Luka?
And now team president and general manager Nico Harrison has been fired. The reason? Massive financial losses, total organizational collapse, and a betrayal of trust that may haunt the Mavericks for decades. Let's go back to the beginning. Because the decision to trade Luka Doncic wasn't just foolish. It was reckless. It was catastrophic. And now we're seeing the consequences unfold in real time. When news broke that Luka Doncic had been traded to the Lakers, the basketball world went into meltdown. Social media exploded. Mavericks fans were in disbelief. Why would the franchise give up a 25-year-old generational superstar?
I was confused because, like, in my head, I'm thinking to myself, like, what is your mindset, right? Like, why would you trade Luka? And if you are to trade Luka, why would you not get the best trade package available for him? That was just such a horrible perspective. That's just such a horrible trade. Like, at least make it make sense. You know what I mean? Make it at least a decent trade. But that was just a terrible trade.
A once-in-a-lifetime player who had carried the team on his back since his rookie year. Luka wasn't just a great player. He was the Dallas Mavericks. He had become the identity of the franchise, the heart of the city, and the reason thousands of fans wore blue and white every night. But what made the trade even worse was the return. The Mavericks received no all-star in exchange, no future superstar. Just aging veterans, a few late draft picks, and a vague promise of future flexibility. It was a slap in the face to everyone who supported the team. Nico Harrison, who had built a reputation as a calculated and confident executive, stood behind the deal at first. He insisted it was about team culture, long-term planning, and financial balance. But as the days passed, the reality became undeniable. The Mavericks had just made the worst trade in NBA history. Within 72 hours of the trade, Dallas saw a stunning drop in merchandise sales. Luka jerseys, once among the top-selling in the league, were pulled from shelves by angry fans. Season ticket holders began canceling their subscriptions in droves. Local businesses who had partnered with the team started cutting ties. One major sponsor even released a public statement condemning the trade and pulling $12 million in advertising from the team. But the biggest blow came from the NBA's international market. Luka Doncic was the face of global basketball. In Europe, Asia, and South America, millions of fans watched Mavericks games purely to see Luka play. The NBA's international broadcast rights with Dallas as a featured team took an immediate hit. Reports estimate that the Mavericks lost over $60 million in projected global revenue in just a week. And then there was the locker room. The players were devastated. Kyrie Irving, who had formed a promising duo with Luka, was reportedly furious with the front office and is now exploring a trade of his own. Young players were confused, disillusioned, and unsure of the team's direction. Morale collapsed. Practices became tense. The coaching staff lost control. Internally, Mavericks ownership realized they had made a fatal mistake. But the damage was done. The fans were gone. The future was bleak. And worst of all, Luka Doncic was thriving in Los Angeles. Just a week into his Lakers debut, Luka had already taken over the Staples Center, now renamed Crypto.com Arena. Fans flocked to see him play alongside LeBron James in what many are calling the most electric duo in NBA history. Luka dazzled in purple and gold, dropping 35 points in his debut with 14 assists and 9 rebounds. The Lakers looked unstoppable. And LeBron? He called Luka the most gifted player I've ever shared the court with. For Lakers fans, it was a dream. For Dallas, it was a nightmare. As Luka's Lakers jersey became the top seller globally, Dallas watched its brand deteriorate overnight. The Mavericks, once a team with rising global influence, became a laughingstock. Memes flooded the internet. Former players like Dirk Nowitzki even refused to comment publicly, reportedly heartbroken by the decision. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver was reportedly deeply concerned about the impact of the trade on the league's competitive balance. Privately, sources say the league office reached out to Dallas ownership, warning them of the long-term implications of tanking a market that had once been one of the NBA's most loyal and profitable. All eyes then turned to Nico Harrison, the man who had orchestrated the trade, the man who had signed off on trading a top 5 player in his prime for flexibility. Ownership had no choice. The numbers spoke for themselves: $100 million in lost revenue, a broken fan base, empty seats in the arena, and a player who went on to make the Lakers the most watched team in basketball.
Mr. Luka, if you're listening to us, Mr. Luka Doncic, this is not from us. Mr. Luka, you were supposed to stay here for forever. We love you, Luka. My kids were supposed to watch you. My kids, this was supposed to be their childhood, Luka. We love you, Luka. Please come back to us. Once you don't re-sign to Los Angeles, please come back to us. We love you here, Luka.
Nico Harrison was fired, not quietly, not behind closed doors, publicly. A clear message that this disaster would not be tolerated. In a rare public statement, Mavericks owner Mark Cuban said, "We owe our fans an apology. This organization failed them. Luka was not just a player. He was a symbol of everything we stood for. That trust has been broken. We're making changes." But for many fans, it was too late. The damage couldn't be undone. Luka was gone, and he wasn't coming back. And perhaps the most painful part? Luka never wanted to leave. Insiders close to Doncic revealed that he had no intention of leaving Dallas. He had bought property in the city. He had plans to invest in local youth basketball programs. He loved the fans. The city was his home. But over time, the lack of vision, the poor roster moves, and the front office instability pushed him to the edge. Still, Luka never formally requested a trade. He had hoped things would improve. Instead, the team shipped him out without warning, blindsiding him and his teammates. Now, Luka Doncic is shining brighter than ever on the league's biggest stage, wearing the Lakers jersey that once belonged to legends like Kobe Bryant and Magic Johnson. He's not just thriving, he's dominating. And every time he hits a game winner in Los Angeles, it's another dagger to the heart of Mavericks fans. The entire sports world is watching, and the message is clear. This was a colossal failure of leadership, a betrayal of talent, and a reminder of what happens when ego and poor judgment override loyalty and common sense. No apology can bring Luka back. No firing can undo the trade. The Mavericks must now rebuild from ashes. And the rest of the NBA? They're just watching Luka take over. Because the truth is, you don't trade a legend in his prime. You build around him. You protect him. You keep him. But the Mavericks didn't. And now, they're paying the price. The echoes of this decision will last for years. And every time Luka hoists a trophy in LA, Dallas will be reminded of what they gave away and what they can never get back. If you liked the video, Don't forget to like and subscribe for more. Until next time.